Over the last 12 months, I've spent a lot of time feeling sorry for myself. My last business failed, I was unsure about what to do for a long time. And when I finally made a decision, I doubted myself every day. All of this sucked until I learned the golden rule and I identified the building blocks sorting my life out. Hi guys, I'm Matt Harris, and on this channel we explore the simple habits, tools and strategies that help optimize our routines for health, happiness and success. This video is the first of a 4-part series where I learned how to get a fucking grip after going through one of the most challenging periods of my life. Failed business, low confidence, little motivation, lots of self-doubt and financial insecurity. Sound familiar? Let's be clear about something. Life isn't fair and shit happens. There'll be stages in our lives when we're faced with loss, difficulties and challenges, and it's okay to cry and to be vulnerable during these times. We have feelings and preconceptions about how we want life to work out, so when it doesn't, it hurts and we tend to beat ourselves up. Unfortunately, that's just life. What I've learned over the last 12 months is that it's okay to feel sorry for yourself when this stuff happens. However, at some stage, you need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and just get on with it. How you respond to these challenging times defines the character and the quality of your life. You can either choose to sit in perpetual sadness, paralyzed by the gravity of your loss, or you can choose to rise from the pain and treasure the most precious gift you have, life itself. Otherwise, you risk life passing you by in a blur of despair, and when it comes to the end of the road, you'll have nothing but regret for the life that you could have lived. For the last 12 months, I've wallowed in my own pity party. I was sensitive, I was consumed by self-pity, I lacked confidence, and I was indecisive. The funny thing is, I'd been here before. 13 years ago, I was made redundant, and at the time, I was finishing a 2-year training contract at a well-established London law firm, where I'd been promised a job 6 months after starting. However, 2 weeks before qualifying, I was told that that job was no longer available. The 2008 credit crunch had just started. What the fuck am I gonna do now? Was a thought persistently running through my head. I was a qualified property lawyer with 0 options in the job market because none of these roles were available. The property industry was one of the worst affected by the credit crunch. I ended up being out of work for 10 months before being taken back by the same firm. However, during those 10 months, I spent a lot of time wallowing and questioning my decisions. Why did I choose property? Could I have done any better during my training contract? Could I have applied for jobs earlier on in my training contract? Should I not have relied on the offer that was made in the first 6 months? After a while, I realized that my redundancy wasn't a reflection of my abilities, my character, or myself as an individual. It was more a reflection of the time. Now, if you're getting value from this video, please make sure you hit that like button so the YouTube algorithm can work its magic and recommend it to other people who find it useful. Thank you very much. This time round, it was a little bit different. While I couldn't control the impact of the pandemic, I made some really fucking stupid decisions with my business during the pandemic. Needless to say, I placed the failure of my business squarely at my own feet. I did begin questioning whether or not I was cut out to run my own business and if I wanted to continue being an entrepreneur. I got completely absorbed in this line of thinking, and I started dwelling on some of the decisions that I'd made while I was trying to rescue my failing business. The more I dwelled, the more I got caught in a spiral of negative thinking, dwelling on past mistakes, and as a result, this negativity bias affected my judgment and made things harder than they really were. In short, I couldn't handle any more difficult situations, so I did my best to avoid them. I went into isolation mode, ignored emails, I rarely picked up phone calls, rarely answered messages, and I started distancing myself from friends and even family. In hindsight, I lost some control of my life. Not complete control, but enough to make me feel like I was walking a tightrope when I hate heights. When you're stuck in this sort of mindset, it's difficult to gain perspective, and you lose the opportunity to learn from the experience in a positive way. Not having control of your life makes you relinquish responsibility. You give up on trying to find solutions to the challenges that you're facing, and eventually you let go of achieving your life goals. Thankfully, my turning point came in February this year, the day my daughter was born. As soon as the nurse handed her to me, I knew it was time to sort my shit out. It was time for me to get a fucking grip. During my extended pity party, I maintained 2 consistencies. 1, staying healthy and working out. I could easily have descended into excessive drinking and binging on crap, but this would have only made me feel worse. Working out and healthy eating have always been an anchor for me, and it wasn't something that I was about to let go because I was feeling sorry for myself. Number 2, reading and learning. I love personal development, listening to podcasts and reading books. As a consequence, over the last 12 months, I've learned how to play the guitar, speak Spanish, speed read, I've become a certified personal trainer, I've started my own YouTube channel, I've launched a blog and a newsletter, and I'm in the process of starting my own performance coaching business. One of the books that I read during this 12-month period was Get a Fucking Grip by Matthew Kimberley. Lessons that I learned in the book were the inspiration behind a blog post that I wrote, which I turned into this video and provided me with a blueprint to get my life back on track. As you go through life, it's easy to get bogged down in the small stuff and forget about the big, important stuff like your health, family, and relationships. Sweating the small stuff distracts you from focusing on the big stuff and takes a lot of your time and energy. Appreciating what you've got is the only way that you can be fulfilled, and if you're always striving for more, then you'll never be truly happy. Ambition is healthy as long as it's your ambition. More isn't always best, and you should focus on setting your own life parameters instead of living up to other people's expectations. It's okay to lower your expectations and be happy with less. Knowing how to say, I have enough, is the key to contentment and self-satisfaction. During my extended pity party, I did a good job on focusing on my health, but I definitely lost sight of my family and my relationships. I also realized that I had this constant striving for more, and this was one of the main reasons why my business failed. I scaled too quickly, and I overextended to the point where I couldn't cope. This marked the beginning of the end. After realizing that I needed to reassess my happiness and what contentment looked like, it was time to put in the hard work. When it came to sort myself out, I needed to focus on 3 building blocks: taking responsibility, communication, and getting shit done. For a deep dive on how I started taking responsibility for my life, how I built confidence, gave myself permission to do stuff, how I became more decisive, and how I started to keep things simple, check out this video over here once it's gone live. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you in the next video.